Flocking is a decoration process that enhances the way a wide variety of products are experienced by making ordinary surfaces seem far more magical and special. Flocking is the process of depositing millions of little individual cut fiber particles, called flock, onto the surface of an article for the purpose of increasing the tactile sensation, aesthetics, color, and appearance.
Hey everyone, it's Carrie over at Double Click. Welcome back to my craft room. Today I thought I would answer some questions that I received on a few of the videos where I used flocking. I recently posted these cotton candies and showed how I used flocking powder to make the embellishments look more like cotton candy. Flocking is a type of a fine powder. That's really all I know about it. I've had this flocking powder probably since 2009, 2010 in my stash, except for the stuff that I recently hauled, but I know that that stuff is just as old. In my stash, I have the Martha Stewart line, and it comes in a ton of beautiful colors. It elevates your embellishments. I used to use this so often on so many of my Cricut cuts. I would use flocking powder to add just a little something to each one, and it's super easy to use. And I will show you that. This was my original set of flocking powders. I had this set that has some sparkle in it, and I believe these were in like the Michaels or the Joann's dollar spot at one point, long ago. This also has a nice selection of colors. I also had the Stampin' Up! Wisp, which is just the white powder that I would use like on my Christmas projects, on my snowmen. Michaels carried these, and they came 4 to a pack, and they were in their dollar section. It's a much smaller container. They also had a selection of colors. While I was at yard sailing, I came across someone that was selling the Stapendous brand. I picked up all of the ones that she had, which are all different colors. She also had these two. For the cotton candy ones, I did use all of the colors from here except the orange. And that's what I'm going to use right now. I heard they do still carry flocking powder. It's kind of sold under nail art. I don't know. I'm assuming you could use this for nail art. I don't know anything about that. I just know that it used to be sold in the craft section of the stores. There are a couple ways to apply the flocking. This is the die that I'm using. It's a quick cuts, just a tiny cotton candy die. You can use any die that you have. Flocking just adds an extra texture to your projects. What I like to do is pick my cardstock to be colored and try and match it to the flock that I have. That way it has really good coverage. For my pink cotton candy, I picked this pink flock. For my purple, I picked this purple one. And for my blue, I picked this blue. Let me show you what I've done so far because I worked on some of this last night so you can see what it looked like as the end result. I cut my cotton candy 2 times in the one color. I want one blue cotton candy, so I cut 2 of the blues, and it did cut 2 of the sticks, but I will not be using those. Then I cut it in some thicker chipboard in white, and I did that because I am going to be using liquid glue. This will help prevent the cardstock from kind of bending from the liquid glue, and I'm also going to use the cotton candy stick from the thicker cardstock. How I like to do it is I like to first adhere my top layer to my thicker cardstock. I have done that on these pieces. Here's the purple one, it has the white on back. Here's the purple one, it has the white on the back. I also put the stick on my background already so that when this is flocked, I can easily push it on there. I've also done the same with the blue, the same with the pink. I did not adhere this stick yet because after I was doing some experimenting, I kind of like how the stick looks on the outside. If you look on here, I put it on the inside so that I was sure that this wasn't going to come off, but I kind of like how that looks better. So I am going to do one the other way. I'm going to get a separate piece of paper. This is the one that I worked on last night. So I'm just going to carefully set this aside because there's stuff in the middle. I take a piece of copy paper and I fold it in half. This is what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to pick my color. Let's do the pink since I'm going to glue that one on the top. This is my bottom layer, my back layer, so it doesn't look white from the other side. Not that that really matters. I'm going to have that here and my spare white stick. This is the base that I'm going to be covering in the flock. Set this stuff aside and move this off of the paper. Here's my pink flocking. Flocking is a really fine powder. No idea what it's made of. Definitely don't have your face too close to it because it does kind of puff up when you shake it out. I like to use wet glue on mine. You can cover this in sticky tape. I've done that before. If you have a Create a sticker, you could run it through there, which will make the entire top sticky, and the flocking will also stick to that. For coverage reasons, I like to use the liquid glue. That's what we're gonna do. I use my finger to make sure I have full coverage on my piece. You could use a paintbrush or any other device to cover this, but you want a good amount on there. I use my finger, and you want to make sure you get along the edges as well. All right, I think that's good. I have it all covered up, and let's put this down. Now I'm going to take my flock and I'm going to very generously tap it on and make sure you cover all of it. Nice and thick like that. And then I fold the paper over and I press it in. Just to make sure that it's all sticking. And then I leave this overnight to dry. I'm going to set this one aside. I'm going to pull out the one that I made last night. So let's check out the one that I've already made. Do it this way. Here it is. And now I'm going to take the die and tap off. And you can see all the excess tapping off. There we go. Now it has its flock on there, and it did not bow because I have the thicker white on the back of it. Since I folded this paper, I'm going to put this right back into here. Now that we have this one done, what I like to do is take the back, which I've already stuck the stick on there, and I'm going to glue it to this one. Once it's dry, the flocking does not come off if you tap it off, and then it won't shed after that. And I like to make sure that I'm pressing it all the way down to keep the paper from bowing. There we go. Good thing about flocking is that it works well with distress inks. I have some blues here. Let's just pick this one. We're gonna take this and we're going to just ink up the edges and see how some of the color gets picked up by the flock and gives it some more dimension like that. And now you can add a bow or gems or sprinkles or anything else you'd like on top. Old one that I made, here's the new one. These are the ones that I will be making. hope this flocking tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please drop me a comment down below. I thank you guys so much for stopping by and have a great day. Bye guys.